Hello everyone and welcome to Lavender Blue. I'm Fiona. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you do, please hit the like button and leave a comment, as this helps my channel and I love to chat with you all. I would also love it if you would subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. You can also find me on other social media platforms and I would love to connect with you there. My link is always in the description box below. Now, let's get creative. Hi everyone, Fiona here. Thanks so much for joining me. Today I wanted to show you my new printable kit, and this one is Shabby Pink Farmhouses, I'm pretty sure it's called, but I will link it below in the description box. So we're going to be making this journal today, and these are the pages. This beautiful shabby chic pink kit with these beautiful houses. I have printed mine on the front and the back. There are 14 pages all in all, but you could just print them one-sided if you want to. So there's 14 full pages. There's a couple that are blank and lined. The lined ones, like this one here. So there's some blank and lined ones that you can also print. You could just print those on the back if you wanted to, but I just did mine double-sided. And then we have all the ephemera, which I'll show you when we put it together. We also have, I have a page of fussy cuts. That's the only thing I haven't cut out just yet. And I've decided to use this one as the cover. So I have not printed on the back of this one. And I'll be gluing it onto a piece of cardstock. I've got this pretty it's sort of a pinkish, well, it's sort of a pinkish orangish, and it matches these pinks really well. So I thought I would use that for the cover. And it's just going to be a single signature journal. And then I'm using some papers here which I have actually dyed with food colouring. So this was a red food colouring, and it's come out really nice and pink, so I thought that I would use these pages. And I've inked everything up. I'm not sure if you can see, just around the edges you can see a bit of faint. I used Tim Holtz, can you see? Yep. I used the tea dye distress ink just to distress all the edges of everything. And I think the tea dye is really nice for this kit because it gives a really nice subtle sort of a distress. But you could use a vintage photo, or you could use a pink one, whatever else you have. Or you don't need to ink at all if you don't like to ink. But that's just what I like to do. So I thought what I would do is do 2 pages of the kit, and then 1 page, actually I think at the front I'm going to do 1 page, and then I'm going to do the pink one, then I'm going to do 2 pages and a pink one, two more pages. I think this works out just right. I've got 4 of these ones. And then, oh no, that's not the middle. Yep, so 1 more of these. So then I've alternated, and then we come to the middle here. Okay, so I've ended up with, how many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I've got 12 pages there. So that makes 24, so that makes 48 all in all. And I think that's fine for just a single signature journal. You can add more or less pages if you wish. So I'm going to go ahead and make the cover. Just put that aside. And what I'm going to do is cut mine in half. So the cover will end up being just slightly bigger, than the inside pages. Cut that in half. I didn't cut that very straight, did I? So we're going to ink around this now. I'll fold this in half. Just get my bone folder. And what I'm going to do is glue this one on here. I might just cut a little bit off the top, I think. Just so I've got the tiniest bit around the edges. And then this one on the back, I think. Yep, that's what I'll do. So I'm just going to cut a tiny bit off the top here. It's about 1/4 of an inch. So this page is obviously an A4 size. And my pages, when they printed, this is an A4. So when I printed these on my printer, they printed with a border. I don't know why, because I always put it on borderless, but it seems to print with borders anyway, but that's okay. So now I've got that on there like that. And I'm just going to do a little bit of inking. And I'll do that off camera because you don't want to watch me inking, and I'll come back. Okay, so I've inked it all up. And I'm just going to glue my covers on to the cardstock. Now if you wanted to, you could just print this onto a piece of cardstock and fold it in half. But I just wanted to make mine a little bit more sturdy, so I decided to use the cardstock. So I'm just going to glue this on. I'm just going to use my tacky glue. There, and I'll be decorating the cover up afterwards. After we've put the book together. So this is just a simple one signature journal. It's great for beginners, and I just wanted to showcase this kit for you because I think it's lovely. It's beautiful. Beautiful shabby chic images. Okay, so glue the back down. I changed my mind which one I wanted on the front and on the back, by the way, in case you noticed. Or did I already say that? I'm not sure. Okay, so this is the right way up. Now I want to think about what I want to do for a closure as well, but I'll sew my pages in first. Smooth this out and make sure your edges are glued down nicely. So I always push the glue out from the center like this. And if you get any bits coming out of the sides, you can just wipe them off with a baby wipe or a cloth. Okay, so that's my basic cover. And I haven't decided what I'll do on the insides yet. Not sure if I have. Oh yeah, I do. I actually have printed this one out twice, I just realised. And that was the idea, was to use these on the inside cover as well. So I will do that. That is my cover all done. Okay, so now I'm going to sew in the signatures. I'll show you how I do that. And mine, you can see how when you fold your pages in half, you get them poking out like this. I don't actually mind that. Some people cut them off, but it's not too bad in a small journal like this. I don't mind if the pages are a little bit uneven. So I just leave it like this. So I'm just going to do a simple 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first put some holes into the cover. And I don't measure for this type of journal for the 3-hole pamphlet stitch because it's kind of easy to eyeball. So I just look for the center first of all, and I make a hole in the center. And then I come down around about 1 inch from the top, make another hole, and around about 1 inch, it might be 1 inch, 1.5 inches from the bottom. So there we have our 3 holes. We just come in with the signature and do the same thing. Now, you can eyeball it, or you can get a piece of paper and measure where you've done these holes. So that's what I think I'll do because it makes it a lot easier. So I'll get a strip of paper. I have a pink strip here. So I'm just going to cut that to the height of the journal. Where's my pencil? So cut this to this height. Or you can do it the height of your pages. It doesn't really matter as long as you've got it centered. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So I'm going to, I could make a mark on here or I could punch a hole. I think I'm going to fold this in half. Yep, so I'm making a little template. This is the easiest way to do it. And I'm going to punch the holes. You can use a ruler. Where's my ruler? I'm not one for measuring too much, so I'm just going to make a little mark there. Then I'm going to come across to this one, make a mark there, and down to this one. So now I can see where my holes are so that they line up. So I'm going to grab my signatures and put this in the centre. Now this does happen to be the same height, but if it wasn't the same height, you would just make sure that you line up this in your centre, wherever your centre is. So then you would have an equal amount on the top and the bottom, if you follow what I mean. Just make sure the centre hole is in the centre of your signature. But I want to make sure that my pages are all together properly, all even. I will put this in. I'll find that centre one and push it through. Whoops, made a hole in my mat then. Okay, so up the top, where's our hole? There it is. And push it through. Can be a little bit difficult the more pages that you have. There we go. Line it up. And now my mark down here. And push it through. There we go. So now we know that our holes are lined up with our cover. Bring in my cover. Okay, and now I'm just using a piece of kitchen twine. You can use any sort of string or twine. You might have some proper bookbinding thread. And I like to wax mine. Or you can buy ready-made waxed thread on Amazon. Any wax will do. You can use a candle wax or a beeswax. I just happen to have some encaustic wax, which is used for doing art, encaustic art. But yeah, it's any wax will do. But I'm just going to cut this to length. So I like to cut mine 3 times the height. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm thinking of adding some beads and dangles to the end of mine though. So I want longer ends. So I'm going to make sure I've got enough and do it 4 times the height of the book. But if you don't want your dangles, 3 times the height is usually plenty. Some people do 2.5. I just like to do 3 because just to make sure I have enough. So I've made a little notch in my my wax here so that I can pull my string through. So if you have a candle, that's a good idea to do it that way. And what this does is it just makes sure that the it stops your string from fraying so much, and it also slides through it will slide through your signatures a lot easier. So I'm just doing this end and then I'm going to run it through. Just down like this. There we go. Now I'll thread my needle. This is the part that I usually have problems with. Oh, I did it. Okay, so just pull through and leave yourself a bit of an end. Now, if I was not putting beads or dangles, I would normally start from the inside so that my threads would be hanging down on the inside. But because I want to put some beads on the end of this, I'm going to start on the outside so that at the end my threads are hanging down the outside. So let's make sure everything is lined up. You can use a bulldog clip to clip your pages together if you want to. I might have to do that. Let's see if we can do this. I'm going to push it through the center hole. Hoping that my pages are all lined up. Oh, nope, they're not lined up properly. Sometimes this happens. Okay, let's try again. There we go. So just pull it through and leave an end for now. Roughly how long you want it to be. And then I'll just come up to the top, or you can go down to the bottom. Push it through the signature. Oh, sorry, the cover. This is a very simple stitch. And then I'll just come all the way down to the bottom. Through the cover. I just want to make sure I've got enough thread here. I'm just going to pull this through just a little bit more, I think. And then through the bottom one. Now at this point I want to make sure that everything's tight. So I'll pull the end and pull this, and yeah, that's nice and tight there. Make sure it's tight in here. And then go back through the middle to the outside. I've got to try not to get my needle into this thread here. So I'll go back out. To the outside. There you go. So I can take my needle off now. And once you get to the end, before you tie your knot, I just need to pull this a little more tightly. And you want to make sure that you've got one string on this side of the thread. And pull your other string to the other side of the thread, so that when you tie your knot, it's going to all secure in place. So I'm just doing an ordinary granny knot. Right over left and under, and left over right and under. And that makes sure it's secure. So you can cut your strings off at this point. I'm going to leave mine dangling because I want to put some beads on there when I've finished. So now we've got our beautiful shabby chic house journal, pink houses, put together. I'm just going to go ahead and decorate with all the pockets and envelopes and pieces of ephemera, and I will speed the video up, put some music on, and you can follow along, and then we'll come back and do a flip through. all finished for now. I will be doing a little bit more on it, but I'll do that off camera. So, but just to give you an idea of how the kit looks when you put it together. So on the cover I've put some cheesecloth and a couple of the little elements, a label behind. This is a faux wax seal that I made from clay and a little wooden die cut, and then I've added some pink lace and a little pink rose there. I will add some beads onto here probably. Open it up, got that gorgeous bird there. And I've used one of the pockets, bit of cheesecloth, one of the cutouts, and then this is one of the tall tags, and I've just put some seam binding in there that I have dyed pink. Next page, we've got another pocket with a couple of the tags in there, and I've put the string in through those ones and some words. A word. And that beautiful rose page. These pink papers go really nicely in here too. That was the first time I'd actually dyed paper with food colouring, because I wasn't sure how it would work, so I tried it, and yeah, it works really well. I did a few different colours. It's another beautiful house. This kit is also going to be a folio, by the way. I have a folio kit coming out. Hopefully today I'll have that in my shop, and I might do a video. I will actually do a video of putting that one together as well. So this is one of the tall tags, and I've turned it into a tuck spot and tucked in a couple of the smaller tags. Alright, looks like I ripped this one. Oh my goodness. That's what happens when you don't wait for the glue to dry. But I can always glue something over that just to cover that up. So I've just glued on one of the elements here, and a bit of that rose trim that you've probably seen me use before. Glued on the little teacup there, fussy cut. And here we have an envelope, which is part of the kit. So I've put a little pink, what are these called? I always go to say safety pin, but it's not. It's a paper clip. Then I put the bit of the trim and a pink button on the envelope. And I have a couple more of the tags in here. And that just goes around this page like that. And then I've put one of the labels as a little tuck. I put one of the mini tags in there with a rose, the word pink. And on this page I have put this little house down here as a little tuck spot, and one of the mini tags goes in there, and the word love, which is a die cut that I had. Put some lace down the side of this page here. Then I've just glued on this fussy cut with some cheesecloth again behind it. Another fussy cut there, little heart with the roses, another pocket with one of the tall tags. And that may be all the decorating that I did. Another fussy cut on there. Oh no, I made a belly band. There is a belly band that comes on one of the pages. Put a little label on top from the kit and another die cut, and that says, it says it's the little things. I haven't put anything behind there yet. Another pocket with some little of the cutouts. And I'll be adding more to this journal, and I'll probably do some of it on video if I find that I have some ideas that I want to share with you. I will just flip through to the end. Okay, so that is the pink Shabby Farmhouse kit. So the link to this kit will be below this video. As I said, it will also be coming out as a folio kit, and there is a journal card kit that is already on in my shop. And this will also be a swap in my Facebook group. So if you want to make just a one signature journal with this kit and be part of the swap, the link to my Facebook group is always in my description as well, so you can check that out. So I'll be swapping this lovely journal with somebody. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.